Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have the amazing, the killer pitch master, slays all competition. We have Precious Williams here. I don't even want to go into a long intro. I just wanted to just do a little couple highlights. She has been and won on Shark Tank. She has been recognized in every kind of journal and news station you could ever think of, for her amazing pitching skills. She's written a book. I gotta get my copy of the book, girl. Hold on. She's written a book. She has an amazing book called Bad Bitches and Power Pitches. And I'm just gonna let yes.
Girl, you know how we gotta do. Yes.
So we're gonna just let her introduce herself and explain who she is, and then I'm gonna come back as if there is an explanation needed and just talk a little bit why she is one of the On Fire Women's Conference speakers, keynote speakers. So go ahead, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So hey everybody, I'm Precious Williams, and I am a bad bitch with a power pitch. I am the killer pitch master, and I really am hired by corporate executives, entrepreneurs, and speakers to help them truly slay all competition. My gift, my ability is to help you get out there and just blow your competition away. And so I am a 13-time national elevator pitch champion, an international professional speaker for the last 25 years, a serial entrepreneur who loves being on camera, who loves being in film, who loves being on television, and who also shows other women how to give themselves the permission to position themselves in their own lane. And so unlike a lot of other people who may, be communication skills experts, my gift is to show you how to stand out for real, not just, not just to say this about yourself, but to truly embody who you really are. So I'm all about authenticity and transparency. I don't need to be perfect, although my pitches are. My pitches are perfect. But when I step into a room, you will feel my energy before I enter the room. I promise you. Because when I come through, it's like, oh my God, there's Precious. And that's how I want I work especially with women, successful women between the ages of 35 and 59 who are getting ready to launch something or transitioning. And they're scared. These are women who are already successful, but they're like, I want to write this book. I want to actually live in my passion instead of just doing what is expected of me. And because I'm 41 years old, a proud 41-year-old woman, it gives me great honor to see women soar beyond their wildest dreams. And to know I'm from the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri. I came from very, very little. And to know that I could set the world on fire through the art of speaking and pitching, all I can do is thank God. So yeah, I'm a bad bitch with a power pitch, and I show other women how to do the same.
Girl, okay, so I don't think I've ever been in the room with you when you were doing a pitch or anything, but I was lit on fire just from that.
We're on fire all the time. We're on fire. We stay on fire. What?
So where do I start? So Lord. Okay. So you basically were talking about just, the fact that you help people who are transitioning, coming out with something new.
Mm-hmm.
But what you said just really got me going is you help them embody that thing. So explain to me what that means, because I know what it means, because I know even this conference, the conference themes were confidence, strategy, and authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
Even having to embody my own authentic self in order to do this right. I know what it means to have to embody something, but I need you to explain that. Go in deep.
So when I meet these wonderful women, it's almost as if they're wearing masks of who everybody expects them to be. Definitely on point, definitely on top of their game. But that's not who they really are. Yes, they can do all of that. But who they are is they're emotional. And they really can help people do amazing things. They've just never given themselves permission to stand in their own power. They follow what society says women should be doing. So, you know, as Black women, listen, a lot of people ain't caping for us. So we've had to be the man and the woman at the same time. We almost forget that we have a feminine essence and an energy, and that I don't have to be her to make it. I don't have to be Sheryl Sandberg. I don't have to be any of these people. I can just be me. And you know what? I'm funny and I'm silly. And I always show up. And I love wearing different wigs. And I love being outrageous. And I love being bold. In a society that says as a woman gets older, quiet down. It's only the young that makes sense right now. And I'm here to say, are you serious? I just stepped into my own. So I'm going to own it. And for every woman, as she's getting into her 30s and coming into her own in her 40s and in her 50s, it's time to live the life you wanted to live, not the life that you felt you had to live because no one was going to cape for you. And so a lot of women really have a book inside of them. They have a message. They want to be talk show hosts. They actually want to do the things that they never allowed themselves to do because they were too busy achieving and getting all this status and stuff. And then even in the midst of this pandemic, they find out, hey, I don't have as much time as I think I do. Hold on a second.
Oh, bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you. No corona. The window's right here. Make the most of the time that you have. And if you're going to make the most, excuse me. Excuse me.
Bless you, girl. I know the allergies is kicking in. Don't worry.
If you're going to make the most of the time you have, do you want to spend it building someone else's dream or your own?
Ooh. So I asked this of one of our other speakers, and I want to ask you this too. What apprehensions do people have when they start working with you? Because I know that you know, and I have clients like this. I know that you know that sometimes we feel like we're in an episode of Hell's Kitchen, where it's like, isn't your restaurant failing? Didn't you come to me for help? What's the problem now that we're working together? Do you have that, or what apprehensions do people have that you might want to tell your next client that comes to you?
So
you might have to deal with that.
So that's a great question. What I have found is during this pandemic, it has been a game changer. It's so weird. During this pandemic, and you and I have talked about this, people before would come to me and I would just, listen, if you have the money, let's work together. Let's make miracles happen, right? During this pandemic, women went out of their way to talk to other companies, organizations, and other women to say, you need to work with Precious. Or they would just hear something and be like, that's someone for Precious. And so when they come referred like that, it's a different conversation. There is no conversation about, well, I don't think that you could do it, because that's what I was getting before. Well, you've been on all of these shows, but how do I know that you can do that for me? I don't get that anymore. Now it's okay, it's a given. You can look me up. And not that you couldn't before, but people were being very lazy and just getting on calls with different communication skills experts. And that's why I said, I'm the killer pitch master. You came to me. I didn't come looking for you. As Kanye West said, don't come for me unless I send for you. I didn't send for you. I didn't send for you. So I have no problem with you walking out the door. And I think that goes back to, who's the tribe that fits your vibe? I'm unapologetically Precious. Unapologetically.
Oh, I love that.
You don't have to like me. You don't have to like me for you to recognize and respect me.
Girl.
So, in fact, there's this woman named Ramona Thomas. She's a financial services professional from TD Ameriprise. When I tell you, I go on LinkedIn literally every day. There's, hey, this woman told me to reach out to you. Hey, Sarah Zambruto sent me to you. Hey, this person just sent me. I'm just like, okay, like the pandemic has changed the playing field. I really have to say, because before people, would just look all over, and now it's like, no, specifically, who handles elevator pitches? Who can teach and train on this? Who is someone that has done the extraordinary? And not just, I went to Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Columbia. I went to the Wharton School. Yeah, I can't say any of that, but I can tell you I beat them all. I've
Ooh,
stood in your shoes. I've stood in
ooh.
your shoes and I've come out on top. My first pitch got me on national television, a $500,000 check. How many of them can say that? And I don't come
Mm.
from money. So who are you gonna roll with? Someone who's been in the trenches, someone who can go back to the trenches and come out fighting again, someone who can write a #1 bestseller, someone who can get something reviewed by Forbes magazine and ain't paid a dime for PR in my life. Who you wanna roll with? You wanna roll with someone who's been in the trenches? You wanna roll with someone who has been through every bad thing that you can think of and come out like the Phoenix each and every time? I don't worry about people's schools. I don't worry about people's education. I don't worry about people's families. I don't worry about any of that because I'm like, I'm 41 years old. None of that impresses me. You know what impresses me? Grit. All that other stuff, that's cute when you're in your 20s and you're trying to size up. I have no competition. And that's it. But you can roll out the door if you want to. That's cool. I promise you, you'll be back or you'll be sitting there 2 years from now like, man, I messed that up. I thought I was going to come at her and I'm not breaking down for you or nobody else.
So, girl, you said it first of all. So I want to let everybody know, and I hadn't announced it. I hadn't actually even told it to you, Precious. But what I was gonna have you do is do the keynote speech on confidence, and that what you're talking about right now is literally, I got tears in my eyes because, whenever someone exudes confidence, it reminds you a little bit of that last time you weren't confident, and that
Mm-hmm.
last time you didn't embody that, and that last time you didn't stand up for who you were. And
Mm-hmm.
you're just right now just saying, I'm me. I've accepted all of this. I know who I am. So let me let me ask a question
Break it
because
down,
I'm
Queen.
just
Break it
I'm just
down,
over here
Queen.
glowing in this, right?
Break it down, Queen.
Um, you said something amazing in that you said you know your lane. Other people can be communication specialists, other people can be this, other people can be that. You said what you are, there is no competition when it comes to pitching. You deal with pitching. So explain to me, what is pitching? Like what I mean, because I know it as, I know that there are competitions. I know it as things like Shark Tank, right? Where it's just like, oh, I got to get up in front of some investors and tell them something. Like that's how I think of pitching. But what is pitching?
So pitching in and of itself is really like a brief introduction into who you are, what you do, and really giving a person a flavor for why they should even continue in a conversation with you, why they should hire you. Like, what is so special about you? Why should I even be sitting here talking to you in the first place? What do you bring to the table that nobody else does? So you can think of it like, so I'm the queen of pitching, but you can think of it like sales, like a little bit of sales, a little bit of flash, a little bit of energy, a little bit of funk, a little bit of flash. You can think of it like that, but it's really a brief, short introduction into who you are and what you want people to know most about you so that you stay top of mind when they have a particular issue. What you want to do is show them in no uncertain terms that the challenge that they have or the problem that they have can be solved only by you.
Oh, so basically, when people walk away, they should remember. They should remember you, why they might need you, why somebody they might run into on the street might need you, why
Mm-hmm.
their best friend might need you. And in my mind, it kind of changes the game for people who just, somebody asks them, well, what do you do? And then they have to explain it versus there are some people that I have met over time that I know exactly what they do, how they can be helpful, who I would refer them to. So, for example, you're a great example because if anybody was just struggling with being able to even talk about themselves, say who they are, approach this new venture with confidence, I would say you need to talk to Precious, right? um this is just gonna be a while. You can just do they call it swag, or a wild ass guess. I forgot what it's called, but um how many people do you think really pitch their businesses well, just now,
If I had to do
before
like
they meet
out
you
of
or
10, like
anything?
out of 10 people or out of 100 people, I would say If it was out of 10, 1.
One. And you was reaching for that one, huh?
I would say out of 100, it would probably 5, no more than 10. Most people can't pitch themselves.
Okay. So
and I think when you see people who go on Google or who watch these who learn the basics of pitching, they think they have it, and I'm like, baby, let me tell you something. I will wipe up the floor with you. Wipe up the floor with you. You have nothing to offer that could scare me. In fact, the last time I heard a great pitch, I was a pitch coach at Google in December. And when I tell you, it was getting towards the end of this competition. So I was the host, the MC, the pitch coach, and one of the judges. I said, Google, you using me like I'm with all that. I'm with all that because I'm associated with Google. I'm with all that. And this woman got up there, very unassuming. I said, oh, I thought I might have felt something down there. I don't know what was going on. Because that's what happens. When you meet greatness, there's a reaction that happens. She stood up. When I tell you, she murdered the game. Murdered. I felt like that Beyonce has this, when she was doing the Miss Carter World Tour, she had this little video, but it was like, I was like,
yes.
And I said, when she got finished, I said, yo, I got to get up. I said, because you're making me want to get back in the battle. And she said, what does that mean? I said, oh no, because to be the best, you've got to beat the best. And I learned that from Ric Flair. Back in the day, WWE. I don't want to face off with people that I can easily beat. I want to face off with the best. So it is beyond a shadow of all doubt that I am the best in the world. It's kind of like when you watch a UFC, when you watch certain things, like you want the best to fight because people bring their A game to the fight. She brought her A game. I need that.
And all these years, she's stood out to you.
Yeah, she was in a competition. It was so amazing. And she looked nothing like me, but she this unassuming presence. But when she hit that stage, baby, it was showtime. And I was spellbound. I was like,
Love it.
She started crying, and I said, this is a beautiful moment for me and for you. I haven't competed since 2013. Baby, I will come out of competition just to go head to head with you.
I love that.
Head to head with you. She said, I don't think I would win. I said, and you wouldn't, but that's okay though. Because you made me you would make me bring my A game to the table. When I speak and when I train different companies, corporations, top nonprofits around the nation, the thing that each one of them say, like, do you know how many recommendations on LinkedIn I have gotten in the last, I promise you, in like 10 days, I feel like there's 30 that just hit on LinkedIn, 30. It has been the most amazing experience because they're all saying similar things. I just started doing these 2-hour laser focused strategy sessions where they're literally coming out with, concrete, tangible pitches or the beginnings. And they're just like, I didn't know what to expect. I thought you were just going to give me fluff. I said, oh no. I said, I'm bringing my A game to the table.
Won't have time for fluff.
I don't have time for the playing games. I want when it's over, I've over delivered, and there is never a doubt in your mind from that day to this one that Precious is not a game. And I don't want the women that I coach to train and to teach to ever be a game. Don't play with them because you get murdered. Slay all competition.
Okay. All right. So let me
tell them media trained.
You said what?
You tell them media trained. I can speak in sound bites.
I love it because you don't understand. We are taught in the regular world, we're taught be quiet. We're taught to do everything not to be a bitch. You up here saying be a bad bitch with a power pitch, right? So in our regular lives, we're generally taught to relax. And the tide has definitely changed. It has changed already.
It has changed.
but it's still, there's not very many people that can tell us how to do it. There's a lot of people who made it there. So let me say this. My friends joke, they always say that I remind them of Tracy Ellis Ross, that I'm silly like her essence. I watched her live the other day, and she was explaining that she's always wanted to be a singer, and right now she finally recorded her first song. Okay, somebody who has been out there teaching other women how to be confident and be authentic and be in themselves is admitting that she has gone her however many years old she is, not even having confidence enough to do something that she loved to do, right? So that just tells you that we're missing so many people in the world that can teach us how to be confident. And right now you are teaching me in this interview right now how necessary it is for me to be confident in what I do. And all I'm doing is getting the ooze that's coming off of you, you know? I don't want you to go all the way into it, because we ain't got time. I know you have an amazing story, but if you can just tell me a little bit of why you have to be confident and believe in yourself and continue to wake up for yourself and stand up for yourself every day. What keeps driving you?
It's funny. I really believe it's my grandmother, Precious Williams, not being able to live and do what she wanted to do with only an 8th grade education, 7 kids, growing up in the 50s, 60s, growing up, born in 1933, growing up, making a lot of mistakes. And then knowing by the time that we truly encountered each other and the love that she gave me and the support she gave me, you often hear bad stories in the hood, bad stories. And I look back at my grandmother and I say, now that was the brightest light ever in any situation. This woman spoke life into me. She spoke life into my dreams. Everything I do today, she saw when I was 16, when I was 15. She saw it. And I give a lot of credit to a woman who could tell her own kids, because I didn't know how to clean rooms. I didn't know how to wash. I didn't know what I was doing. And she would say, Precious is not domestic. Precious is going to have people do that for her. Mind you, that's an old school grandmother. What Black woman do you know in the past would say, oh, well, she ain't got to do that. Let me just handle that for her because she's going to have people do that. You don't know, I don't know nobody like that. But that in her mind, Precious is going to have people do that for her because she's doing busy things. She's taking over the world. How could I not honor that? At the time, I just thought she's sticking up for me. Now I'm like, that's a bad bitch right there. You got to be smoking crack because, she telling her kids, you can say whatever you want to say about Precious. That's the golden child. She going to do a lot of big things. And no matter what, that woman was in my corner. I got fired from a grocery store. My first job, I got fired. This woman, now I was clearly in the wrong. She went up there to that store. She was like, how dare you fire my baby? Do you know what she's going to be? While you're sitting up here being a store manager, she's going to own things. While you have a job, she's going to create jobs for others. You fired her at 16. Wait until she's your age and see what she's doing. What grandma do you know would do that? That was my mom. And so she's the reason. And also, I'm so tired of walking down the streets and seeing women who've given up on life. And you can see it in their eyes. No, I don't care if they're at the CEO level. They've lost it. They feel like because they have extra weight or, society values the young. And I'm here to tell you that experience that we have, I'll run circles around these young girls. I'll be like, you don't even realize the gift you have. You don't even realize it. But I do because I'm 41 now. You could have looks, and that's great, but it will fade. What remains? Let it all go. See what remains. You can be on OnlyFans if you want to, or you could have created OnlyFans. Who makes more money? Rockstar confidence. That's what I got.
Girl, So I'm just going to say right now, I'm thankful to your grandmother because she poured into you so that you can in turn pour into us. Because
Yeah.
I had a grandmother who really was an advocate for me. The only problem is she was an advocate quietly for me, but in my face, she didn't know how to talk to me. She wouldn't say those wonderful things that you just said, that you said that she said to you. So we're dealing with a generation of women that came from people who didn't know how to encourage. Everything was suck it up, you'll be all right, take it. This is how the world works, go get you a job.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm thankful for your grandmother because she now is telling you how to equip us. She helped you get to us so that you can equip us into how we can stand up for ourselves and stand up in ourselves.
Yes.
Um, she sounds like an amazing woman. I would have loved to have met her. She sounds like a firecracker.
That woman right there. What? What? That woman was a bad woman right there.
So this is my thing that I want to say to people. We are surrounded by people. We might have 99 people around us who are telling us what's on the news, or what we can't do, or how that ain't gonna work, or how this or whatever. And sometimes you just need to get around the one person that is going to teach you absolutely not, you're amazing, right? And so what you do, and I'm just summarizing this, what you do is you teach women not just that they're amazing, how to present how amazing they are. Like how do I get how amazing you are out to the world?
And
That's revolutionary.
I love that you said that, because people be like, you be your own Kanye West. I said, yeah, I gotta be my own biggest cheerleader. People hate it. Some people hate it. Like, could you stop talking about what you're doing? I could do that, but I won't.
And why should you? Because first of all, I don't think, and I'll just explain, we went to school together years
Mm-hmm.
ago,
Right.
didn't really, really know each other.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, like everybody, we all linked up on Facebook. We all became friends, whether you
Mm-hmm.
were, you know, down road dog type down, or whether you were just acquaintances, or took two classes together. We
Mm-hmm.
all linked up and we all became friends. But over the years, I saw you over and over again winning, right? I saw you winning. And I'm sure not everything was a win, but I just saw you coming back and coming back and coming back and winning again and again, and putting yourself out there as, oh, you don't know about me? Oh, you don't know about me? I'm amazing. And when you didn't know that I was amazing, I was still being amazing. You just hadn't heard yet that I was amazing. So that is what kept me kind of hearing. Click it one more time, and a little post come up, say, what's Precious doing now? What's Precious doing now? What's Precious doing now? That kind of thing is something we don't know how to do. I'm just telling you, even from being in the hood, sometimes bragging in the hood is looked down on, or it's seen as bragging. It's looked down on because the next person don't have it as good. But you and we already talk about, we want the next person to have it as good. So let me show you how to get there.
Yes. Yes, I got to be on my Kanye stuff sometimes. I got to be on that Kanye stuff. He said he was a genius. He said he did this, and then people are like, oh, whatever. But I really feel like if Kanye were a different race, it'd be a different story. Sometimes I really feel that about him.
Oh
He
yeah.
he knew he was more than a rapper. I can't speak to the political side of Kanye, and I'm not even going to address that, but I'm going to address the fact that this man knew. He started off producing because no one believed in his rapping skills. Took that to the next level, fought to become a rapper, and to do it in a different way than just the gangster and the selling crack. That wasn't his story. So he came out, I'm the college dropout. Who gonna come out with a title like that for their album, The College Dropout? Them Negroes, the other people were never in college. So okay, you know what? And then change the game in fashion. I don't have to like everything that he does, but I can respect a man who says, don't pigeonhole me, don't put me in a box. And then fought to be called a billionaire. He fought for years. If the story were really told, he fought for years. He was like, there's a story that they want to say around a certain other person. He said, but I did it first. You just didn't believe me because all y'all look at me as like a braggart. But I'm not going to be put in a box. And that's why y'all don't like me at times. I will speak truth. It'll be detrimental to me sometimes, and sometimes it really just needs to be called out. And I gotta respect someone like that, because to be a person of color and to constantly fight, are you gonna make mistakes? Yes, you are. And for every person who says they wouldn't do certain things, I'm here to tell you, you're gonna step on toes, you're gonna offend people, but on your way to the top, it won't be easy. There will be so many people who will stand in your way. And you still gotta be like Clark Atlanta. You can stand in my way today, but I'll find a way or make one.
I love it. I love it. I love it. We're going to have to get off of this video.
We got to, girl, because we can go.
I can keep going.
Girl. And so that's
I already know. I can keep going.
On Fire conference, I'm telling you, bringing the fire to it. Bringing the fire from New York to Atlanta. Bringing it. Y'all ain't heard nothing yet. This ain't nothing. Y'all getting a taste. And I'm telling you, that's a tasty morsel. But just imagine what the full meal deal going to taste like. What?
So I don't even have to explain to y'all why Precious was going to be a keynote speaker, is going to be a keynote speaker at the On Fire Women's Conference. As y'all know, the conference is July 17th through the 19th. With the coronavirus, we don't know where we're at right now. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell you right now, I could not wait to bring you guys just a little taste of what was planned. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, and I'm gonna just tell you, this is how I have my vision. Mm-hmm. You walk in the door on Friday one way, you walk out the door on Sunday another way. This is a results-driven conference. You don't come in and leave out the same way. So if you don't get nothing from Precious, if the confidence doesn't drip off of her and just
came through dripping. Drip.
Came through, girl. Came through. If it doesn't get on you, then that means you are closed, and I don't know what. We're gonna have to send you some extra help, okay? But there is an amazing presence that you bring, and I thank you for everything. I thank you for doing this little interview just to just let people know.
You saying a little bit, nah, baby, ain't nothing little in the middle of a pandemic.
It's know
what?
Nothing
little in a pandemic. I promise you, ain't nothing little. This is how people become known. The more visible you are, that's what you're doing, sis. Ain't nothing little about this.
Encourage everybody. I accept it all. I just thank you for coming on here, and I really, really appreciate you just standing up for yourself and being you so that you can help us be us. And we're gonna hear from you again. I'm gonna close out in a minute, and I'm just gonna tell everybody, if you missed this, it's because you haven't stood up for yourself yet. I want every one of my sisters to stand up for themselves and make a choice. The choice is, I'm going to live an on fire life. I'm going to get the strategy to how to do it. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to know how to be confident how to do it. And I'm going to be my authentic self. I'm going to be me because I'm amazing and I'm great. So Precious going to come tell us how to do that. We're going to have an amazing time. I will let you guys know how the conference is going to go from here on out. But just know, if you miss it, you've missed it. You have not stood up for yourself. I love you all. I love you, Precious. I thank you so much for coming. I'm going to close out. You guys have an amazing day.
And stay on fire.
Stay on fire.